Allow me to flex. This life I can't keep myself. Oh, I can't keep myself. Allow me to flex. Many years me I done it. Rock the mic, me I rock the show. Many hit songs when I go. Still them go save me and now they try. I see them complain of Kanye West. In speaking mind the people best. Everybody wants to be the best. But the world can do without the best. Aqua can sing in Jehovah. Nobody let you I say I put the right guy. He glad them for I. In a thing cool up and I. He do them like film. This life I can't keep myself. I can't keep myself. I can't keep myself. Allow me to flex. This life I can't keep myself. I can't keep myself. I can't keep myself. Allow me to flex. Yo go 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 go. Yo go go go. Yo go 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 go. Yo go go go. Some people say I go babalawo. Never. Tell me don't be any man carry me past. Nobody they carry me past. Anybody they carry me past. Nobody know me and they pray and fast. Only God they carry me past. Only my Jehovah they carry me past. Nobody they carry me past. This life I can't keep myself.
I can't keep myself. Oh. And a warm welcome to you. It's another Saturday on the Saturday Show. My name is Mary Williams. You guys are welcome to the show today. Oh, of course, I have my troublemaker with me. Okay, so I'm not troublemaker. He's the troublemaker. All right. Anyway, you're welcome. Today is the 28th day of August. And the year is slowly but surely riding to its end. A lot happened this week and around the world. Because if we add what's happening around the world to what we're doing yet, the time's not going to be enough. So, hey, we're just going to stick to what's happening here. There's so much that's happened this week. And to me, it's like you guys, on a serious note, for the country is bad. But for us here, people who can talk about y'all, it's so good. Y'all keep it up, okay? Anyway, on that note, I want to welcome you guys to the show. My name is Mary Williams, like I said. Okay, thanks for having you. I mean, Daddy, having you. I have you every Saturday.
I just used to go into other people's shows, so
thanks for having me.
So yeah, I always feel like a guest.
All right, this show yet. Don't pretend to be a guest because you're not. All right. So 2 issues we're going to cover. When I say 2 issues, so one issue has subplot and the other issue also has subplots. But we're just going to cover 2 issues, one from the government end and the other from the opposition end. And it so happens that this week there's just so happening in the opposition end. So we're going to devote more time to it because, hey, that's what we have to do justice to it. The show with government. We are equal opportunity offenders. So let's start off with government tomorrow.
Yeah, what's happening?
All right. So we're going to touch on the issue of the LEC situation.
And let me apologize for the poor quality of my voice.
Did you dive into a...
Can I help you?
Nana wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. You want to tell us what happened? You know, me I can confess, I can confess my last week I almost ended up in the hospital. So yeah, I can confess some other bad things. Yes. Anyway, you guys, I beg y'all, please manage Demo's voice. He will try to croak through the show. Okay.
I see. So you helping me or you harming me?
I am explaining away your problems and helping you along with your problems.
No problem.
Great. So we're going to start off with the LEC situation. And this is from the American embassy, from the American ambassador. I'm just going to read the story from Trump in Africa. And it says, U.S. Ambassador McCarthy urges government to stop power theft, warns U.S. may withdraw support to the energy sector if it fails to act. The United States ambassador to Liberia Michael McCarthy, has warned Liberians and the government that America and some of Liberia's major partners may withdraw their support to the energy sector if they fail to stop the widespread power theft that's crippling the sector. Ambassador McCarthy made the comments in his first news conference on Thursday following a tour of the Liberian Electricity Corporation, LEC, Bushrod Island facilities. Quote, if we were taking all this money from taxpayers and the result is that people of Liberia are living for free, eventually our Congress will say we're not going to appropriate any more money to that project. And I think all of the donor countries feel the same way, I assume, he said. And he, when asked about the consequence of the maintenance, $215 over the period of 5 years. The fund primarily focused on rehabilitation of McCarthy hydropower plant, also power in the country, and Liberia's most valuable fixed asset. The compact, which ended in January this year, in addition to resuscitating the hydro, supported the creation of an independent energy sector regulator and developed a training program for technicians in the LEC sector, in the electricity sectors, amongst others. With the end of the compact, it has been the anticipation of the United States government that Liberia will build, expand the economy, and improve the lives of Liberians. However, some of these of those prospects are not being realized due to increasing power theft. During his visit, the ambassador learned.
You reading the entire article?
I just want to read to this point. And officials that commercial losses, theft, and unpaid bills account for over 50% of the electricity produced by LEC, seriously threatening the financial stability of the organization. There is something else I'll touch on, but after we discuss it, I'll go back to it. There's another area here where I'll touch on. So basically, the United States is saying, if you're not paying your bills, then we can't. Because it's not free in the US, so why should it be free for you guys here? And the problem with the electricity, I'm very passionate about the electricity industry. Why? Because without power, you cannot. The economy does not really survive. It doesn't even function. Here we have an expensive power already. You still have less than 25% penetration of power in the country, which is poor. Theft on it. And from the numbers I found, they're saying that they've spent, since the beginning of trying to resuscitate the energy sector of Liberia, so including the generation, spent over $1 billion. That had to be the most expensive, power project that has not delivered.
Yeah, I mean, and then again, of course, we can have the debate on how that money was spent, who it was spent on, and so. But I think I have a different thinking toward this. Is it really power theft, as in people using the power and not paying for it, or is this an accounting gimmick by those who are running the electricity corporation?
It's a combination of both.
Because I can see a system not being able to account for resources and then moving all of it into the corner of power theft and say so much power was stolen. Or it's either that or inefficiency. And to think that they have a private company that has a management contract of the LEC, with the LEC, is particularly disappointing. I don't know if that contract is still in force. If it is, it's time to. And for me, I would, say we need to probe a little more. I don't know when was the last time LEC was audited. I don't know when the last was audited, because it just seems to me that some of the numbers, the percentage of leakages that have been reported sound unrealistic to me.
Okay, first off, there's no dam that should cost upwards of 300 million
right
to build for 64 megawatts.
Megawatt.
It's
It's overpriced.
Yeah,
Both
it's
on
too expensive.
Sorry, just before I start, both on the donor side and on the government side.
Right.
Both on the Unity Party-led government
Right.
side and on the CDC-led government side.
Right.
On the American side
Mhm.
and on the European side.
Mhm.
Their participation in the power sector has not, I mean, it doesn't add up. The Americans are probably, I mean, are also stating massive figures that, you know, yeah, it shows good. It's not clear why ours is so expensive. And then also in the way the government have handled the consumption. And I mean, aren't we supposed to be doing prepaid? How are people owing within the context of prepaid?
Right. The problem is not just it's a multifaceted problem.
Mhm.
So first, from the generation side, so let's break it down. From the generation side, you have a combination of power coming from the hydro. Initially, it was generators. Then it changed from generator. It didn't actually change. It's just now that you have the hydro added to. So in months where you have low
So now
low
we're using all
rainfall,
of these.
low rainfall,
Mhm.
then you're going to be primarily dependent on the generators. Then the thing with the generator is that at a point, I think it was in 2011, 2012 or so, where they changed the source of fueling from regular diesel to that way. It was a little less expensive, in comparison. However, the problem with that now is, so you charge, because if we look at how much you're charging for the electricity at the time when you were using generators, electricity was 50 cents. It was actually 50 cents per kilowatt hour for a number of years. Okay. Then when you develop the hydro, then the price dropped to like 44 at 39 cents per kilowatt hour plus, including 7% GST tax. So it's a tax that you pay every time you buy your LEC. The generation of electricity, to start off with, is a major problem. Is now what determines how much energy you have to supply. Then the transmission of the energy is a major problem. What are the lines of transmission? Who is manning the lines of transmission, and how efficient is the transmission from generation? Because you could be generating more electricity than you need. However, the lines of transmission to distribution is bad. Okay. So the lines of transmission, then you get to distribution, which is where customers now come in. So the lines of distribution, well, how is that line of distribution, and who's manning the lines of distribution? Right. If you look at those, and generate and sell to LEC, by the way, you should be able to do that. Right. You should be able to, for instance, if you decide you can do green energy, solar,
independent power.
independent power producers. If you can produce, however you can produce electricity to now transmit and distribute to other people. In other countries, they've made sure that distribution, maybe not generation and transmission, but distribution is privatized. That way, you make it like cell phone companies, where you're selling scratch cards to people, and it's prepaid or postpaid, however you're deciding to sell but LEC sells it to you, the company, and then you now sell it to people and make your money. Right.
So
I was going to get
putting
there.
government under the spotlight.
Yes, I was going to get there.
Okay.
That if a private company was in charge of distribution, right, just like your cell phone companies, I don't think cell phone companies are coming to you to complain about or cell phone theft. I don't think so, because they figured out a mechanism to make sure that it does not happen, because then they lose money and they're in a profit-making business. So if you have a government entity that will not function in that way, which is what we have with LEC. So power theft is not just individuals like you and I who would steal power. No, it's actually government officials and bigger people who are using bigger sources, right? For power usage, right? Who do not pay. So, for instance, a hotel will owe, I don't know, debt and
power
a
debt,
combination
because,
of
power debt. First of all, is using different approach when it comes to household usage and using different approach when it comes to government ministry for everybody. Single system. And that way you deal with it. I think the reason they have done it to allow people to access electricity without having to pay for it, before using it, is because they want a space for them to steal, for them to privately sell power under the table. I don't think this is, being done just by people external to LEC. I think LEC leadership is inherently corrupt in my mind. And they are creating opportunities for corruption. So even to get meter is very difficult.
Right.
To get prepaid meters. So they are inefficient about how they bring in the infrastructure for prepayment. It's like the system itself wants to undermine prepayment. So as to allow for this opportunity to justify unaccounted for funds as
the real issue is that the reason why you even have the power theft in regular places is because of the penetration of the power. So if your neighbor has electricity and you don't, you're going to find ways of getting it. And this has been an ongoing problem for the last 15 years, right? Where a certain sector of society might have electricity and a certain part of that on the same street might not have electricity. So power theft becomes a thing of, okay, well, you want power, so give me this money, then I'll connect you. You don't pay a reduced rate per month.
Yeah.
And the problem with that then is if you don't increase your distribution, you're only encouraging your so-called power theft just on the theft side. Forget about the debt.
But you think it's a competence problem? I think it is intentional. It is the inefficiency is meant to create an opportunity. So
which
that
is normal. It's normal.
No, it's normal, but it's scary.
Yeah, it is.
And if you're treating it, look.
If you don't solve a problem, it's because you don't want to solve it.
Yeah, but just let me complete this. If you treat it as theft and you think people external to the LEC, like for example, government ministries and other people are flexing muscles by not settling their debt, if you think that's the only problem and that the people within LEC themselves are not concealing and privately selling power and then privately capturing rent for power, then you will take different approaches. So for example, the national legislature legislated a bill criminalizing power theft.
Right.
And they've been clamping down. And donors and everybody have supported a massive clamp down on power theft. It's still not going down. Why are the administrators at the LEC intentionally creating an opportunity for people to steal power so that they can use it to justify their own private sale of power? That's what I think is going on here.
Good question.
So what the American ambassador should be doing instead of threatening and coming out. I don't know the quality of relationship between he and the local stakeholders, between the U.S. Embassy, concerned project leads, and the technical people here in Liberia, across the agencies responsible for power. But I would think this is something that they should be discussing, in terms of way forward and collaborating.
For me, I think you can't stop power theft without providing power. You know what I'm saying? Let's go back there. So until you increase the number of people who can get access to the power, you're only encouraging power theft. And until you do that, this is going to be, especially if you want to fight power theft by itself, if you want to restrict your fighting to power theft. If you don't increase the number of people who have energy, right? You're only encouraging the chances of, because people want energy regardless. Okay. You're only encouraging the private sector. When I say private sector, the private sector theft of energy, which money does not then get to LEC, right? Illegal connections, that's what you're encouraging. So I would advise that the fight should be faceted, right? More prongs, whatever, because they have access to it. You make it easy for to get access to meters. For instance, I'm suffering the meter issue right now because I try to apply again because the meter burnt. it is taking forever, right? When you do that, you set up a situation where why should I bother going to go line up at LEC, when I should not, bothering myself in that way when it's something I am paying for. Okay. And the idea that they're refusing to see customers as customer, you're providing a service is not a favor, right? Which we're paying for it, which means you need. So the whole, and it's just a ministerial thing, is an LEC government thing where
And-
making money is not their thing.
And I'm telling you, someone is making a killing with a black market for meter.
Right.
So those in charge of the system undermining the system so
Right.
that they can collect rent.
Right.
It is intentional. Anybody can take me anywhere they want to.
Mm.
Charge of LEC are making the electricity governable so that they can enrich themselves. So that they can be privately responsible for connecting people to the grid, that they're able to collect money from them privately and report it as power theft.
Right.
That's what I think is going on here. I don't think that they're so stupid that they can't put these systems in place. And because the technology exists to even audit the lines.
Okay, so my thing is, okay, so then just in case they don't know, I'm telling them. So if you can increase
extra classes.
No, but if you can increase penetration of LAC in the country, particularly Monrovia, for instance, if you can get Monrovia to at least 60-70% penetration,
but
then what you're doing
is the thing. It's a chicken and egg situation. You cannot do distribution expansion when you don't have the resources to finance it. You cannot have the resources to finance it if your pocket keeps leaking. So if it is a matter of taking out of LEC the private the power holders there, the decision makers there that are undermining the system by privatizing LEC revenue through a fictitious power theft accounting system. If we get them out of the way, LEC revenue will go up, and LEC will have that revenue to invest in expansion of the grid in terms of reaching more people. Let's not forget, all this thing we're talking here about LEC is mainly Monrovia, right? Because in the interior and in the large part of Liberia, they're being serviced by the West African Power Pool and the SLCG, something like that. And it's working fine on that side. But here in Monrovia, it's chaos. And it cannot be that difficult. I think it's chaos. It's chaotic.
It's a deliberate chaos.
Deliberate chaos, and people are getting rich. So the GAC needs to come in terms of how they audit, not just the books of LEC, but the power itself, the transmission of power itself, how they audit the lines. I'm sure the technology and everything exists. But this woeful stealing, because they're not just stealing money from the state. They are also undermining economic development, as you put it.
Right.
Because businesses, the cost of energy usage for businesses is high. They're eating into people's profit. They're making an already difficult situation worse.
Right. Okay, so basically, LEC, I don't know how you guys are going to do this. I think you know what to do. Whether you want to do it is a different thing. So let's not, hide behind incompetence, because I don't to say. I just wanted to lay out what the issues concerning generation of electricity is, right? And so that it doesn't look as if it's not known. If I, small me, can know about it, I'm very sure you guys learned people over there, I'm sure you can fix this, okay? To the point where LEC generation of money can be used to invest, I doubt they're at that point. Reason being, well, in the way that the money comes in to be able to invest, I don't think that the money is enough for the investment that they need. So it requires, a bit more think through, which is where the donors come in. The problem with the donors is when donors come in, then donors make demands that now make the money they bring in not sufficient for the project they need it for, because the people that they require to be used are too expensive for the same project. So when donors say they're giving you $1, then they bring in somebody whose pay alone will take 40% of that $1, then you're not going to deliver the thing that you're asking about. Then you turn around and blame the people for not delivering. Meanwhile, created a system where just from overheads alone
Right.
has eaten through the bulk of what it is you're using for the project. And we just need to say all these things so that it doesn't look as if it's just one part of it. Is more like there are just several parts of this, and we need to make sure that if you want to deal with a problem, also look at your part in it. Then other people will look at their part in it to ensure that the problems are solved. And I keep saying this: without reducing the cost of energy, you cannot improve business activities in the country. It's just an impossibility. And I just hope that people will begin to, government to begin to, even God, very first thing he said, let there be light, because he knew the importance of having electricity.
Maybe not until she start quoting power verses.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what else is there?
Okay. So next on government agenda or lack thereof, yeah, this because the only thing I can think of is to call it is a 419 thing. So I'm just gonna
419.
Yeah, the the issue with the president's
Office staff. Huh?
office star.
I didn't quite follow that. What was going on there? I hear he suspended or
Yeah. Without even bothering to read, because the problem I had with the whole story, it was the response to it. So a group of South African business to get into energy.
Yeah, I'm listening.
No, energy. I said we just need to talk about energy.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Right. And they contacted the lady at the president's office.
Right.
Then the lady invited them to the country. So they came into the country, according to the story. They came into the country, and the once they got in, the people who invited them, another company who invited them, took them to go meet her. And in the meeting with her, she started saying something about their visa and how they got into the country being illegal. Because they were told they would get visa on arrival.
Right.
And she said, oh no, that that was illegal and blah blah blah. So at a point they took, I'm trying to look for the gist of the story instead of go to read it. So they now took their passports.
They seized their passports.
Then the guy who was, liaising with them, they had a meeting. Then the guy came back to say to them, well, since you want to invest, you have to bring $5 million that's paid before, to assure that you can get the contract.
I don't know what's the nature of the contract they were seeking.
That's
what you're looking for.
Exactly, that's what I'm looking for.
I mean, just
on a general
why you look for it. I did take your time to try and find it.
Right.
But the whole investment process, as long as you keep the process opaque and people don't use the regular route, and some of these investors, we're only hearing about this now because they got burned. They encourage it. When they come, they encourage it. They want to pay bribes so that they can get in faster and so on. They're encouraging it. That's why you have these things. The only reason we're hearing about it is it didn't work out. And I don't think the country looked good. South Africa
I think the problem with the story, I think the problem with the story is the casual nature that they responded to it.
Who responded
to the government? The government, yeah. When McGill said, "Oh, is the exchange they're going to use the lawyer in the president's office to look at the case instead of LACC," and I was like, "Why? Why are you using the government's lawyer? Sorry, the ministry's lawyer to look at to investigate it? Why can't?"
I think that's entirely wrong, though. But there's nothing wrong in saying that the Ministry of State can now look at the matter and find where the elements of criminality is and whether it's appropriate to advance it to LACC. On the face of it, it strikes me as something that is clearly a corrupt practice if these allegations are proven, because all we've seen are written text and pictures. We don't have all of the facts. And so they may have said, okay, let a lawyer look at it. Lawyer, because you'll be able to know the legal implications of the actions, that the individuals took. But I think if they've suspended her and they're investigating it, sure, I don't see anything else they could do.
I see plenty. Unless you don't want to see anything else they could do.
But
I see plenty.
No, I think after that, the next place to go will be the LACC once you determine what you're going to charge them for.
It's not what you determine. LACC is not supposed to. You're not supposed to tell what LACC should charge somebody.
No. I mean, like
you refer a corruption case to LACC,
right,
and let LACC investigate it. You don't tell them what to investigate, exactly, and how to investigate, and why to investigate.
Yeah.
The casual nature of their response is the problem. It sounds like something that was always happening. It just happens that this one got out. So now, oh wow. So it's like somebody comes to you to say, oh, that your son was doing so. You already know your son, right? So you go, oh, don't worry, I'll talk to him about it. Without necessarily showing the importance that the person who brought the complaint to you is telling you about, which is necessary. And for me, that is the problem with the whole thing. I was gonna go read it and I thought, it's the same story. Any other corruption case, same thing. All the other cases, NHA, was it the housing authority thing, that there has never really been an interest in really looking at it, in really making sure that the issues are dealt with like they should, and not just some on the surface, let's just shake the car, make it look as if the car is moving. That's what I see happening, whether it's this one or any other corruption case. It just does not show interest in actually dealing with the issue. Whether the business people are wrong or not. To me, if you say the business people were wrong,
no, I didn't say they were wrong.
No, I'm saying I'm saying if business people are trying to do this, then you should ensure that those business people are dealt with, right? You should not.
It comes back to government.
Right. You should not play it down. But when you play it down, it seems like it's normal. And then not because McGill says, oh, but everybody should go through the National Investment Commission. We know that's not happening. Why do we know that's not happening? Because it hasn't. If it did, we would see it. So why is it not happening? Why don't we have investments coming into the country? Why is that? Have you guys been able to ask that? This is not the first story we're hearing of these kinds of things where somebody has said, oh.
And it makes the country look bad.
Yeah. Investors don't come into a country where they know you're going to treat them like, for you to even hold them hostage in their hotel. To me, that was like the you say they must leave within 24 hours. Then you say, oh, they must put that 5 million. Then you could just, it was just a 419 thing, where, or a pimp where they take your paperwork to ensure that you do the work they want you to do. And I just think the fact that somebody in that office is able to even do that, allegedly, the response, I feel, if it was something that they took seriously, the response would have been more robust. Okay. But clearly it seems to me like it's something that's happened before. It just happens that this one got out.
No, I agree. I agree with you that this is an unfortunate practice, because this is not the first time we've heard about it. So the guys, they're out of the country now. You are more familiar with the story.
I haven't gone back to check where they are.
You can't find it.
No, I just got tired trying to look for it. Because I just wanted to quote what the Minister of State said. It says, when there's fire, we will extinguish it. Which is what, when he was asked by James Botte why they were handling it that way, he said, when there's fire, we extinguish it. So
I don't understand.
Okay, this is an interview with Nathaniel McGill with VOA.
Oh, he was on VOA.
Yes, and then when he was asked the question, his response to it, when there's fire, we extinguish it. So when you say that, it just simply means that the lawyer you're saying to deal with the issue is meant to go and just distinguish it, extinguish it, and not necessarily do anything, And even though, like I said, he did say that people, let me quote what he said. Um, he said that one of the things that we see in Africa is that all investors coming to the country want to be associated with the president, which is wrong. Investors must learn to follow the procedure. We should not be, there should not be no shortcut. Oh, sorry, there should be no shortcut. Individuals wanting to come to Liberia to meet Liberia to invest. Liberia is free. It's a free country, and you have the right to come to invest. When any individual tells you that, look, I want to take you to the president, say I'm going through the process. But we know this is okay.
No, so I think I'm gonna go through the what the investor reported. We were invited by Madam McKinney, El Keita, Special Presidential Projects Department, to come to Liberia in order to discuss our proposals for power and energy waste management project that we wanted to undertake in Liberia. The invitation came via Canon Group of companies who had apparently arranged this through her office. We had the intention to stay in Liberia for full visa term of 30 days and booked our flights to that effect accordingly. It was our intention to complete site visits and to use the time to gather data on weather patterns and other environmental statistics in order to finalize our presentation to the government of Liberia. Having arrived on Tuesday, the 10th of August, we were greeted at the aircraft and taken to the VIP section at immigration, where we handed our passports over for processing. At that stage, we felt duly respected and positive that we had certainly we had a certainty that we would actually meet the minister and do a presentation, and felt positive and excited about the opportunity. We were then driven to Hotel Boulevard, 13th Street, blah, 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 blah. It goes on. At that meeting, the lady that appeared was introduced to us as the Minister of Special Projects. And after introductions were made, we were instructed to leave the office so that the minister and Canon Group representatives could have their private chat. In effect, we were being dismissed with little respect. After the private meeting between the alleged minister and Canon Group, we were called back into the room and then advised that we had to depart the country with immediate effect, as immigration officials had not granted us visa, despite the invitation letter stating clearly visa on arrival. We were devastated about this, as we had an invitation from the minister's office. They keep saying minister, not telling us which minister. Would it be the minister of state?
No, the minister who calls herself the minister for
special
project. Yes.
Okay. Minister's office, and could not understand what the reasons were for being so thoroughly dismissed in this manner. After a bit of talking back and forth, it was our understanding that the alleged minister could not meet with us officially, as we did not have permission to be in the country and therefore had to leave the country immediately. Her reasons. We explained to the alleged minister this would take some time, as we had to first check with travel agents back in South Africa, and of course, if the flights would cater for that shortened trip, as well as the fact that we needed a minimum of 3 days to do the departure COVID test as required by international and local laws. She, the alleged minister, agreed that this would be acceptable period, but we had to inform of the change in flights as soon as possible. We then left the meeting, being driven back via a circuitous route and returned to the hotel. At this point, it was already too late. A few hours later, That same night, Dr. Sadie, Kano Group, and Amos, who we understood was minister's aide, came to my room. I called my fellow director, and we had an informal meeting, the contents of which I discussed below. Being very upset about the lack of civility and professionalism being reflected by the minister and the department, and not really understanding this sudden turn of events, I requested our passports be returned to us right away, as we needed to confirm the COVID test and because it is the only form of legal identification we had with us. We were assured that the passports would be returned to us the next day, being Friday. So they seized their passports.
But what I'm telling you, I'll try to
Wow.
I was trying to make it a little less,
This is grave. This is grave. This is grave. So yeah, this should be definitely. You
But
should
what I was
you should
saying
take
to
this
you,
to the LACC.
but that's what I was saying to you, is the
LACC?
reaction.
Ministry of Justice.
It was
Because
the
there are elements of
reaction.
forced imprisonment and all kinds of
The reaction
Mhm,
to this,
mhm,
to me, is what tells what the real story is.
mhm.
The reaction. Because if you heard anything anywhere close to this,
Mhm.
there should be, and this is unacceptable, totally
It is totally
unacceptable.
unacceptable.
There should be a certain vigor in going after it. You don't say, let your lawyer extinguish it. You don't do that. I'm sorry.
They
You
may
don't
say if
do
there's
that.
fire, they will extinguish it.
Yeah. You don't do that.
No, that is wrong. And wow.
You're
So
going to open the phone
she-
lines before we go for a break.
She invited the people to Liberia.
The people, the fact that they went pick the people
So
up
they
in
don't
the
even know how
airport.
to be crooks.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's terrible. We're just gonna open the phone lines now, take the calls, and then after the break, we'll come back to do the second half of the show. You know the numbers to call. Those who know the number, get it going. 0777 021, I think.
You know the number.
I know.
Please put a number up here.
Something threw me up. Something threw me off a minute ago.
Okay, it's on
0777 777 Charlie, today 0777 107 0777 221 223. We're gonna take a few calls. Then after that, we'll go for a break, and then when we're back, we'll get to the juicy. Hello. Hello.
Morning, Larry.
Morning.
Good morning to your co-host, Madapaka Dunan.
Good
Thank
morning.
you. The news Mohammed passed away. I join you guys from the Logan Down community. Let me appreciate you for all of the talking points. You know, you guys are doing well. On Saturday, when people are in their draw homes to listen to you guys discussing critical national issues, I think that is very much welcoming. To the issue of the woman who soliciting bribe from the business, somebody want to come invest into the country. I think this is quite unfortunate. We need to make the business environment feasible and very much cordial for people who want to come invest into the country. But if we continue to scare them away when we come asking them for kickback or bribe, I think this is quite unfortunate. We need to desist from the kind of a thing. Because Liberians are unemployed. So people who come into the country to get on investment or they want to invest into the country, if we continue to harass them, then we scare them away. So we need to adjust ourselves to see how best people are working in government. They need to desist from the kind of attitude. So our people can come and invest into the country so that we can have a friendly business atmosphere.
You're right up.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. You guys, sorry. Me and Demoit were just gossiping. Sorry. Hello. Is that caller there? Hello. Okay, 0777 777 0777 221 223. Nobody can call. We'll discuss two things right now. The LEC situation and the Charlie, I'm gonna call it what it is. Because I'm on air, I'm gonna use alleged 419 situation from the president's office. And the real issue
it's not even 419, it's harassment, official harassment.
You ever seen what
intimidation.
That's what 419 does, because what they do is they set up the situation where it forces you to now pay money.
But most times 419 are independent crooks without the seal of government.
But
This
they use
person-
the
But this person has a government position.
yeah, but it's still for one night. Doesn't matter who you're using.
Right.
The
No,
actual
but
act
419
itself.
seems like something a civilian would do to another.
Oh, okay.
This is state,
Sanctioned.
yes,
I like that.
criminality. Yeah, that's. See, when you say 419, it makes it look like some crook just, sat in some corner
And
deceived
decided to do
some
something.
unwitting person. But
Right.
this is using the official government. And this
Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Yes.
So let me tell you that, when she is in our favor, it is not bad.
Mm.
But when it is.
Sorry,
not
we didn't
in
even
our
hear your
favor,
name.
it's bad.
What your name though?
Sorry, I'm Stephen D. Johnson, calling you from Manco.
All right, go
Okay.
ahead.
You see how some of our case they make it with political, that are only criminal thing in Liberia. But all the other things are not criminal things. Okay? This thing is not the first time, all the time things are going on, but nobody talk about it. But when it comes to Samoka, because they told him to join CDC, and he is not joining CDC,
Hey,
so
man,
it's that's the truth.
Mm.
Thank
Okay.
you for the time for me.
Okay. All right. I don't even, that one is hard to argue. Last week, I was arguing with you. You said, that the government. I said, no, man, because we know this has nothing to do with fighting corruption. And I think
The
Samoka is
government,
just still
has just, you saw that the government resisted. The government
Right.
wrote a bit of information
Right.
stating that Samoka should not be allowed to pay the money, to pay his share of the money. I think, and I've not been a fan of Samoka throughout this, but that is useless because in my mind,
they're not interested in it.
he cannot force his colleagues to comply, and he cannot be punished for their lack of compliance.
Right.
He cannot be reasonably expected to
Let's just take
cover.
this call. Hello?
Yeah,
Yes?
yeah, my name is Abraham Gray,
Okay.
calling from Brownwater.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I always listen to the program. But the point is that only two of you can all be in a studio. Those are involved in the program, the EDC business. We invite some of them there to come and answer some of the questions. But most of the time, only two of you can be in the studio discussing the things. So now you invite some of the people to come and discuss some of the things too.
Okay, thank you.
You want to add? Oh,
No,
I thought it had.
just-
Okay, finished. Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
on the line.
No, I just said you finished.
Yeah, I finished.
Okay, thank you.
He wants LEC people to bombard them. You think they will come?
No, it's not about whether or not they can come. It's just people need to. Anyway, we're gonna take a break because I'm told there's a lot of commercials to be played, and then when we'll come back, we'll launch into opposition and its drama shenanigans in whatchamacallit. Okay, you guys don't go anywhere. You're listening to you're watching, and if you're on Facebook, it's the Saturday Show, Mary Williams and Minipaka Dumont. We'll be back in a minute.
Here we go. I am done transferring money from my account to my phone, and I didn't forget to purchase some data for both of us.
How did you manage to finish the process so fast?
Ma, I'm using the new app there. With just one tap, I see all I want to do, making transaction quick and easy for me.
You mean it easy and I only have to download the app?
Yes, so ma. And by the way, the app that you talk, on me, Marco. I am paying using the same app. My transaction on the screen ready for me.
No need to go through a long, tedious process to transact. Now, with one single tap, you find all options to complete your transactions. Download the Orange Money app from Play Store and the iPhone App Store and start enjoying. Easy like 1, 2, 3.
Brings you closer.
Excuse me, Papa, give me one bottle of wine, just another plate of barbecue chicken, and...
Wait up the wait 1 minute. Oh, come back. A lollipop. I know I told you to relax and enjoy. But sorry,
107.1 FM. You are listening to your hit music radio station.
The Bajaj Keke with music player is out for grabs now. Get it for only $2,850. On the Bajaj Keke, we give you 12 months on engine warranty, distributed by Silver Automobiles, LPRC compound, Gardensville, Somalia Drive, for only $2,850. And now here is another good news for you. The Bajaj CT 125 is now $730. You see, what a giveaway. Now $730 is the new price for the Bajaj CT 125 motorbike. Contact 0777-987-309 or 0775-066-743. Ride with comfort and feel good.
Wait now, so you mean to tell me I can send my mom any amount now? The fees are reduced? Yes, so it can make people happy, yeah? That's not smart to you.
Send money to your loved ones from wallet to wallet, starting as low as $10 Liberian. Just dial *144# and follow the instructions to begin transacting.
Brings you closer to what matters.
Orange.
Here we go. I am done transferring money from my account to my phone, and I didn't forget to purchase some data for both of us.
How did you manage to finish the process so fast?
Ma, I'm using the new app there. With just one tap, I see all I want to do, making transaction quick and easy for me.
You mean it easy and I only have to download the app?
Yes, so ma. And by the way, the item you took are on me, Manko. I am paying using the same app. My transaction on the screen right in front of me.
No need to go through a long, tedious process to transact. Now, with one single tap, you find all options to complete your transactions. Download the Orange Money app from Play Store and the iPhone App Store and start enjoying. Easy like 1, 2, 3.
Brings you closer.
Bajaj CT 125 is the most reliable and efficient bike in town. $730 is the price for the Bajaj CT 125 motorbike. Bajaj CT 125 is present in more than 10 countries across the globe with close to 2 million happy riders. Bajaj CT 125 bike comes with the following features: low price, fuel efficient, low maintenance, high speed, better mileage, and we give you 6 months engine warranty. $730 is the new price for the Bajaj CT 125 motorbike. Contact Silver Automobiles Limited, Painesville Red Light, or call us on 0778-674-117 or 0881-233-122. Bajaj CT 125, definitely the new king of mileage. I say, my man, you not see the new motorbike and not get Bajaj Boxer 150 UG for only $825. It's the bike that you must choose anytime you want to buy a motorbike, because you know what? It can take you anywhere you want to go. It get the following features: it get 5 gear, your cell phone charger, gear indicator, 6-month warranty engine, strong body, Bajaj oil mix, and it get enough space for your phone to rest. Strong shock absorber. And the benefit for this Bajaj Boxer 150 UG is they will give you 6-month engine warranty when you buy it. They will give you covering bear, cylinder hair, vibe and crankshaft, and they get special field team to service. I mean, they get special people in the V. Anytime something happens, you just call them. They will come right there and service it for you. And the special price for this Bajaj Boxer 150 UG is for only $825. Yo, only $825. They want there like a season offer. You can find it anywhere in Liberia here. You can also get it from the headquarters in Monrovia, Silver Automobiles Limited, in Red Light, Painesville. You can also find it at the LPRC compound, Silver Automobiles Limited. We are also in Banga, Bon County, Ganta, Nimba County, Cotton Tree, right near Habel in Magibi County, Buchanan City in Grand Bassa County, and Maryland County. For more information, you can contact us on 0778-674-117, 0776-251-588, or 0880-302-934. You can also contact us on 0881-233-122. So you see, my man, go and get your Bajaj Boxer 150 UG for $825. That's the best bike in town.
No need to ask, he's a smooth operator. Smooth operator. Smooth operator.
I say, my boy, you really know how to operate, so.
Still feeling fine from last night?
I tell you.
Girl, that's why they call me the smooth operator.
I know.
So, can we get together later?
Can we say sooner?
Why not?
Operate with Godfather Fine Whiskey, Godfather Fine Brandy, and Godfather Fine Gin. Produced by International Best Industries IBI on the freeway and available all over Liberia.
Wow. You girl, you're looking so beautiful.
Okay, and welcome back from the commercial break. You're listening to the Saturday Show. My name is Mary Williams, and Nidipaka Dumoy is still here. And you see, welcome to the show. Thanks for inviting me. So I want to assure people you're still here. You can go yet. Okay, so this week saw one of the most I don't even know if it was a drama or just such viciousness, from the opposition camp. And to me, it needed to get somewhere. And I don't know whether this is the climax of it or it's just like a prelude to more to come. Since you're from the opposition camp, what are y'all doing this? What's all this thing for? What was it? So first we had the drama between the chairman of the Liberty Party, Musa Ability, and Senator Dillon. And then we had the fight between the chairman and the Liberty Party leader. And then we had the drama between within the CPP. What are y'all doing?
We're forming collaboration.
Is that how you collaborate? What happens when you're not collaborating? If you're doing this or you're collaborating, what happens when you're not collaborating?
I mean, I think it's unfortunate, and like you rightfully said, this week was action-packed. You had a full week on all the radio stations, full of the Liberty Party exchanges, the CPP, intra-CPP fight, and I think all of these things signals that we are closer to the primaries, and that this is going to be a very competitive process.
Let's take one at a time. Let's take the fight between Musa Ability and Abraham Taz Dillon, senator and chairman of the party.
Let me first of all say I'm not independent.
Okay.
So that the listener
can know
that I'm not independent.
Full disclosure.
I'm from the Liberty Party, and I have disagreed with Abraham Taz Dillon's position on this one. I think first Abraham Taz Dillon appeared on Sky, not Sky, SKTV, another network online, that and said things to the effect that Musa Ability was BM and so on and so forth, all sorts of emotional
diatribe.
Diatribe. And Musa, of course, responded as well on Spoon, and announcing to the public that, this, first of all, I'm not a BM, I'm not a criminal, but if Dillon thinks that I'm a criminal, then he should bring the criminal money back that I gave him for his campaign. And I think that sort of just set social media on fire.
Right.
Yeah, so we had that. We also, of course, we have not gotten any report from the meeting that the head of the CPP, Nyomli Kanga.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
So let's
the
deal
Dillon
with
Musa
this.
exchange.
Yeah, for now.
I think Dillon and Nyomli and the political leader, they tried to convince the public that first they tried a fast one on the National Elections Commission. Nyomli writing, Senator Nyomli Kanga Lawrence writing.
I was going to read the response.
Yeah, writing and asking, and announcing that, she was withdrawing the 2015 Constitution. The National Elections Commission informed her through a letter that they only recognize the 2021 Constitution now until Liberty Party can have a primary I'm not primary, a convention, and adopt a new constitution. This remains the constitution. And having failed on that score, they launched a new attack where Abraham Dawes Dillon openly said he was leaning towards Joseph Newman Boakai and accused Musa Belete of leaning towards Cummins plus other things.
Okay, so on that, this whole drama is because people want to support Uncle Joe.
People want to support Uncle Joe, but I don't think that's what all the drama is about.
Because I always
for
ask
example,
this
a
question.
Liberty Party is about the balance of power.
No, okay, so but I always ask this question when people start a fight, right? When you start a fight, you gotta know where it's going. There has to be a plan, and you should have no blind spots so that you know what the reaction would be, right? So what I found disgusting, and I'll say this here, what I found most disgusting is the fact that we got to this point. The only thing that was left was your ma this, your ma that. That we even got to this point. And I will say this here, that it's so disappointing that Senator Dillon will get to this level. I'm sorry, I have to say it. He's a known friend of mine. However, when things are wrong, they are wrong, okay? I understand the need to call Musa a criminal. I get that. Oh, their reports, road fund, FIFA, I mean, you can name it. However, on this one issue, right, did he do what you said he did? If he didn't do it, then how can he be, right? Because this started with, there was a change in the Constitution, isn't it? And is this change in the Constitution where he was the criminal thing, started coming out. So I'm like, okay, so if on this one here, did he do what you said he did? If he didn't, then you're wrong to have even brought that up to start off with, right? Then for Senator Dillon himself to now say, I'm sorry, you guys, there's certain things we know that, they're just certain things you don't do. I don't care how bad the politics is. They're just certain human relations and tendencies that we should not be seeing, from people that we don't expect to Trump. Let me put it that way. The issue of Musa being a BM. Okay, so people who, I think everybody knows, I worked for Musa Belete. But this is not the reason why I'm saying what I'm saying. If Musa Belete was wrong, Mayor Williams here will sit down here and say the same thing. He's wrong. However, on this case, to the point where you're calling him a criminal, come on, man. What does that make you? Because at the point where you needed Musa Belete, he was there for you with his criminal money and you took it. So I don't understand how we even get, that's the part where I don't get. How do you even get there? What makes you upset to the point where these are the things you say about the person who you literally, oh my God, like that to me was just totally disappointing. So to the politics of it. So the political leader is trying to change the Constitution because she doesn't like the way it sounds. It doesn't benefit her at this time, right? Even though the reason why it was changed in the first place was because it didn't benefit her before. So the one that benefited her that didn't benefit her before, that she sought to change, now that it changed, it no longer benefits her. No, it doesn't benefit her now. She wants to change it back to the one that was there before. Because basically what she wants is Councillor Bromskin status in Liberty Party, where you don't breathe until he says so, right? And that's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. And I like the way Neck put the letter. Neck, sometimes y'all can mess up, but this one here, your wording, let me just read it for those who didn't hear it. This was on the 23rd of August, 2021, and it's sent to Senator Nyomli Kanga, Political Leadership Party. Okay, dear Senator Lawrence Kanga, this communication is in response to your 20th August 2021 letter to the National Elections Commission, NEC, which was subsequently submitted to the Political Affairs section of the NEC. Honorable Senator, in keeping with the practice and procedure here at NEC, when a party, especially through its chairperson and or Secretary General, submits a notarized document such as a constitution to the commission, the general assumption is that the said document is proper and remains as such until successfully challenged in keeping with due process or amended by the party. On the 4th of August 2021, the National Elections Commission received your communication in which you made certain claims regarding the party's 2021 constitution in response to your letter. Mr. Musa Bilete, on the 9th of August, sent a communication to the commission in which he denied the claims asserted in your August 4th communication. Acting on both communications, the NEC had conference with both parties on the 16th of August 2021. In that conference, both you and Musa Bilete stood by the position raised in your respective communications. Hence, the NEC viewed the claims and counterclaims as a dispute concerning the party's 2021 constitution, and as such, referred the parties to Chapter 3, Section 3.3 of the regulations and guidelines relating to political parties and independent candidates. Given the possibility that any decision by Liberty Party is in this matter could come before the NEC to review, we must await same in keeping with the hearing mentioned procedure. Please contact me if you have any questions or need any additional information. This is signed by Ignatius Wisse, Director of Political Affairs. The first paragraph here is what sets this whole thing totally. It says, it is an assumption, it's a presumption rather, that the said document, it says that when a party, especially the chairman, through its chairperson or secretary general, submits a notarized document such as a constitution to the commission, the general presumption is that the said document is proper and remains as such until successfully challenged in keeping with due process or amended by the party. So basically, NEC is telling you, before it got to us, y'all should have made sure.
And that's
we're
it.
Assuming that before it got to us, it should have been in,
And it's not just about the Constitution. It's even about her so-called investigative body and everything. I'm told several members of that body, including Kanwi, have said that they're not going to participate in this. That is bogus. And that the mechanism, I understand there's been several meetings, and yesterday all of the political leaders of the CPP met. We're still waiting to hear what will come out of that.
From what I learned from that particular meeting, from the political party, so that's the collaborating political parties, the meeting was actually so that people will calm down. And I think they raised the issue of Mr. Ure's letter. And everyone just said, well, you could get a copy of your own lawyer was part of those who sat with the other lawyers to put together this document that was sent to NEC. You could get a copy from NEC, you could get a copy from your own lawyer, to make sure that whatever it is that your grievances are can be words to that effect. And I'm also aware that there was a meeting between your party leader and the party chairman, Musa Bilete and Nyamli Kanga. And I'm told that everybody agreed to ceasefire. And the agreement is, I'm going to paraphrase, that you don't come for me, I don't come for you. Let's put it that way. I'm trying to simplify it.
So during the war years, they call it cessation of hostilities.
You don't come for, I don't come for you, right? But basically what it was that okay, if you don't go on air to go talk about me, I will not respond in kind, right? and everybody should just, I heard there's been a lot of intervention trying to calm things down. But the fact that we even got to this point, to me, is what's worrisome. One, the political leader, I'm not sure where she was going with this, but I don't think she thought it through, of what the potential outcome of that would be, So if you're trying to do something, like I keep saying, what's your end game? I don't think she thought it through. And I think she felt muddying the waters, sending people to go insult or her supporters or whoever, choosing sides. She felt that she could win over submission from the chairman. Because that's the only thing that would make sense for you to take this course of action.
I think sometimes when people perceive you to have certain level of power, it's better not to use it.
Right. The threat of using power is more
powerful.
Yeah.
Most people thought when Dylan comes out for one side or the other, it will settle the discourses. It has had no effect.
We'll get to that one now. Hold up. Hold up.
Then number two, there was this belief that normally that Senator Kanga had command and control
of the Liberty
Political influence is not legislated. Political influence is not legislated. If you look at the Unity Party constitution or so, you will not see anywhere that says, for example, Uncle Joe has control to do everything, right? But in practice, his people listen to him.
Right.
To his credit, if GMB wanted his party to go one direction or the other, I can bet
he has the muscle to do it.
He has the political muscle. And it's not written in any constitution.
It's a tacit agreement.
It's whether or not people respect. The government like that cannot come and make your children to follow you.
Right.
That's your private affair. One of them was trying to beat you, you can call the police,
right?
Because that'll be assault.
Right.
But as to influence them, we cannot make a law. So this political leader has limited influence within her party. And she had always postured that she has total control of the party politically. So she set an objective. First of all, there has been this, this belief circulated by her that based on the Liberty Party constitution, she can change documents, she can reverse decisions. So she wrote NEC very confidently, trying to announce to NEC that she was withdrawing the constitution as a way of orchestrating legal legitimacy. It failed. NEC told her, go back to 3.3.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, she didn't write once. She wrote, so she wrote on the 9th, I think. The next says, they call the meeting, right? They have the meeting. Next says, no, you all go talk about this. Then she wrote again on the 20th,
right,
saying, when I wrote to you then, I wasn't writing to you to tell you to investigate. I was telling you, I don't want you to withdraw it. I won't use it. I want you to ignore 2021 constitution and use 2015. So that's why NEC now wrote this. Yeah. So this letter is in response to her letter on the 20th.
So that letter failed. This letter failed.
Right.
And then she sought to move out of the legal realm and orchestrate a political takedown of Musa Belete.
Right.
That political takedown of Musa Belete also failed.
Right.
By naming by constituting a committee to investigate Musa. That effort failed because of the non-cooperation of the people she appointed.
Right.
Further demonstrating now not only her legal impotency, but also her political impotency. So the more she set objectives, and yesterday I was informed by some people in her circles that she's going to court. I said, but that's just to take away shame.
No, but she did say she's going to court. Because what I found out she's saying,
I'm not alleging that she told me she's going to court.
No,
I'm saying people close to her have said to me they're going to court.
No, but what I found was that the game for the court thing is she herself is not going to court. It's for someone to sue her to go to court.
The same way they got
get
you
it?
to write a letter.
It's for someone to sue her to go to court. I'm sorry, Charlie. I can talk about this thing here.
The basis
Hello.
of political
In this case, yeah, you'll see. I'm getting excited talking about this. Cheche Kule. Yes, because to me, as much as for the country, this is bad for the country. However, for the work that
for discussion.
Yeah, look, y'all can fight all you want. However, if that's why I keep saying, what is the end game? What is the end game? So you get somebody to sue you, then the person takes this case to court, right?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that the more impetus then on the party itself to remove you totally?
If a lawsuit come against them, then we will start rallying
exactly to remove you. Like I'm like, how can you not think?
No,
Lord.
I think ego.
Yeah.
Ego. This whole thing is about ego.
You think it's just ego?
No, 1 second, I'm coming. The successful re-election of Senator Nyomli Kanga Lawrence, which was the blood, sweat, and tears of the entire CPP that brought that about. And the re-election of Ibrahim Daras Delon, which was brought about by the blood, sheer tears, and funds of all CPP members, including some of us that don't like him today or that are critical of him today. But he has personalized the victory and now wants to also personalize Liberty Party, privatize Liberty Party, so that the two of them should get greater say because of their votes. The votes you got during the election has entitled you to sit on Capitol Hill and receive salary and represent your respective counties, right? It does not now give you the power to run Liberty Party unilaterally because the two of you went to elections and won in your county. They want this thing to be decided by how many votes. So when you're having a discussion, the law will say, I won 200,000 votes. That's arrogance. That's arrogant. You didn't win that vote to come and tell us in the party how to do everything, to dictate to us because you won a vote. It is that is blinding them. They think they can do something with the fact that they won an election a year ago. That's not going to matter. If you want people to go your way in the party, you have to build relationships with them. You have to explain to them which way you want to go. And if they see reason with you, they will come along with you. If they don't see reason with you, you can't force them. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but so how do you do this though? I understand they are popular in their own way. No, let's not play down. Okay, so in her county she struggled to win, but in Monserrado, Senator Dillon did not struggle to win.
Yeah, but
so we cannot take that.
Most popular person on earth.
No, but we cannot take that away from them. However, I think it's how they're using that popularity that's the problem, right?
Okay, so you come into the same place. I'm saying, even if you are Michael Jackson,
he died.
Even if you're the most popular, let's say you are
Barack
Hussein Obama. Even in America, with all the votes Barack Obama won, he couldn't write the laws of America. No, it has to be Congress. Then he will participate at the end.
Or executive orders.
Or some point, but you get my point.
Right.
You alone cannot make all the decisions because you got a lot of votes. That's nonsense.
But we talked about this and we looked at the chairman, former Unity Party chairman, and both of us have said this before, where when you start going to neck or to court, it means you don't have your base. Because if you had your base, then you just say, hey, I want this, and your base will do it.
She's going to court.
So if you no, she's going pseudo.
She's going to court through somebody else,
right?
And that is so, I don't know.
It almost infantile.
She's a senior member of my party, and now we're
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Peace and things like that.
No, but Charlie, I'll tell you, y'all, when we finish talking, then we can do the piece. I beg you, we can't miss out on talking about it.
Yeah,
come on, man, we're gonna talk about it, and then y'all can go to peace.
We're talking about peace, but still, if she goes to court through a surrogate and cause a lawsuit to come, I don't know what effect it will have, because at the base of this is that no crime occurred. And at the base of this is that the broad majority of the people of Liberty Party are satisfied with the Constitution the way it is. There is no way you can get them to change it because it is not in their interest to change it.
But why are we fighting this though? What does Liberty Party really want in this thing? Because if I understand what Liberty Party, if we the public who are not members of your party understand what it is you guys really are looking for, then maybe all of these your machinations will make sense. But we still don't get it. So the power is to do what? So they can do what exactly?
I think it's about, listen, you have to go back to the framework agreement. The framework agreement says each political party would send at least 310 delegates, right? He who controls the party politically and administratively will have more say on who those delegates will be.
And who they'll
First
vote for.
of all, demonstrating control in the party is a source of stature in CPP circles. So if Nyomli is able to disgrace and bring down Musa Belete, then he will become irrelevant and she will be the go-to person for CPP matters. I mean, for
Liberty Party
matters.
Okay.
It's about demonstrating who controls the terrain.
This is about control.
It's about control. From
so
her
power,
standpoint,
basically.
From her standpoint, she thinks she should have more power.
And you guys are saying that
the power should be shared
amongst the executive committee
members.
Okay.
Yeah, because the executive committee members cannot be together, cannot be less powerful than the political leader.
Right.
Countries are like that. Most organizations are like that. You see, the political leader position is a high profile position, right? You do have power, which you should flex through soft power, like influence, right? There's not something you can use the coat or neck to do. There's something you use the quality of your leadership to
get.
And yes, there are some serious powers in the constitution for the political leader, but she cannot be higher than the forum called the executive committee. That's what's at stake here.
Okay. And if she was higher, then what would that mean, though?
If she was higher, that means people doing business with Liberty Party will only have to focus on her.
Okay.
And what the rest of us thought in the party will not be
matter.
important.
Okay.
That's why I talk about the privatization of the party.
but that's what they accuse him Musa Belete of doing, that he's buying up the party.
Well, they are trying to explain his popularity in the party. They, for the first time, the Yomli Kanga bloc has tried a political objective and not being able to meet it. So their explanation, like we had election 2017, right? We said CDC cheated, right? When we code about it, right? So when people lose, they raise issues, right? So they're trying to explain why most partisans listen to Musa, but in a way they are also insulting the partisans. So if like you tell me, say, Benny Packet Dumo is talking because he has a car and because he has a salary and because people are paying him, then the next time you bring something to me to vote along with you, I will not do it.
Right.
So the more you talk, the more you disrespect us in the party, the less popular
you're gonna be.
So they're not fighting this the right way. We have agreed with these two people on a lot of occasions. We have promoted them. We have projected them. We have campaigned for them. But they have to listen to us. That's something. Why are you insulting all of the people in the Liberty Party that's insinuating that we are all taking bribes from Musa? That is very offensive. And I'm saying it.
And the irony is, so the money that they took from Musa,
the only person that we have on record right now
who are taking money from Musa is both of them. Actually, both of them.
It's Dara Dillon and Yomli Kama. But every day, my name is on Facebook billboard. When the Packet Dumo is taking money from Musa, I've not taken money from Musa. When they went to Banga and they elected Musa, some of us went on our solo senatorial run and everything came by and said, okay, let's come back under the umbrella of the party.
Right.
And let's work with the party. So I thought not to challenge the majority in the party. I feel that the majority in the party agrees with Musa. And I also agree with Musa. But Daniel Sando and others have been running around telling cock and bull stories about people receiving money. But now when it comes to light, those who have been saying that good name is better than gold are the ones who have been taking gold.
That's funny.
Yes, good name is better than silver and gold.
So it seems to me like
are taking gold.
It seems to me like
so
the fight.
We who are being insulted and maligned have not even seen $10,000 or even $1,000 or $100 proven on paper. Now, Dillon is saying Musa tells lies. Musa is a criminal. But Dillon, on record,
so he lied.
He's known to have lied.
No, but he himself said so.
So how is normally using Dillon as a character witness?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
If Dillon appears in any case against me, Manipaka Dumo in Liberia, unless my lawyer is not competent, we can argue character that he's not fit to be a witness. You know, so he's not fit to be a witness.
Okay, so but it seems to me like this money thing. It seems to me like this money thing is another issue with Cummings, because the fight I hear. Because I noticed social media. You guys on Facebook. Everybody's been. I see Tao Wong Bay. Please go ahead. Sorry, the air conditioning is not working. Just so people know that he's uncomfortable because the air conditioning is not working. Right. I noticed that the problem with the issue of money is coming to play a big role. And as we get closer to the primaries, people are a little angsty. Okay, so Musa is paying Liberty Party to be in his pocket because he has money. Cummings is paying, is going to pay the delegates to vote for him because he has the money. And which means, therefore, those who don't have money, chances are that they might not be allowed to win.
Yeah, but
if you notice, I said be allowed
but
to.
Who is complaining about money? United Party has been in power for 12 years. United Party have people that have been former ministers, people who are raising hundreds of thousands of dollars on their own account, by, talking about their plight, right? So if Samuka can raise $181,000 in a few days, how much can Joseph Boakai raise from his supporters?
So basically what you're saying is that he too should go find money to bribe people?
No. First of all, the bribery allegation is childish, is born out of fear, is unsupported by any evidence. But if this whole we don't have money thing, who's supposed to listen to this that you don't have money? This is a party that was in power for 12 years. So as soon as Musa Belete Baka, they say, we United Party people, we don't have money, Musa got money, and that's why Liberty Party has always had cars, whether or not they were in CPP. I listened to, and the stories are so disjointed. Henry Costa alleged that Musa Belete has $18 million, which he made from a tankers. But he's saying Cummings bought Musa Belete with $5 million. If I have 18 million, can $5 million buy me? How I will have $500? Then somebody say, Manipaka, I want to bribe you with $50 and I take it. If I'm going to sell my dignity, if I'm going to sell my party to somebody, and I've seen 18 million before of my own money, $5 million is going to impress me.
No, but the thing with people with money is they want more. So it's not like,
But I'm saying $5 million is not money that's going to make Musa go crazy or after you've said he has 18 million. So first of all of those who are you saying
that money is not going to influence people in this?
I'm not saying that money is not going to influence people, and I'm not saying that money is going to influence people. I'm saying regardless of everything, we have agreed to a process. We have to go to that process, which is the primary. Unless Joseph Walker is willing to leave the race or Cummings is willing to leave the race, we will go to primary. And we should do so peacefully.
But didn't you? Okay, so what I understand is that the process is supposed to be consensus candidate first. And then if that doesn't work, then the primaries should happen. So in the way that the consensus is supposed to go, consensus means that we all agree to support this person, right? So the way to get the other person to agree to support this other person is where we are at, right? Is that what I understand?
I think United
so
Party,
we're beating people up.
United Party's strategy has been to seize on the 2017 numbers and use a mixture of propaganda and savvy social media orchestrations to deepen, this perception that Cummings is unelectable, so that it breaks him psychologically and move influencers and everybody in the CPP toward alignment with Boakai. That's their strategy. Cummings' strategy has been to also continue to assert his ambition and work within the CPP, reach out to officials, to members of the CPP individually, people who control blocks. He does a lot of work, a lot of meetings, and interact with people. So you have a strategy that's very propaganda driven. He has a strategy that's person to person connectivity on the ground, less noise, more connections. And they are taking it to me. So if Cummings call a meeting with you and you have a conversation, when you come out, Costa will say, oh, they bribed Mary Williams. But if Costa has a meeting with Cummings, they didn't bribe him. This is ridiculous. If you have evidence of Cummings paying bribe under Liberian law, it's a crime. Bring it to the fore. Finish.
You know, initially,
and
I was one of the
United Party reminds me of CDC when they were in opposition. CDC. Oh, okay. Let's take for example, over the last week or so, people who have been crossing over to Bwaka camp. We have not heard any word about political prostitution. We have not heard any word about inconsistency. The United Party is fundamentally hypocritical in the way it communicates around this thing. If someone, for example, Dallas Dillon said he is supporting Bwakai, we have not heard anybody accuse Dillon of receiving money from Bwakai. But if I do the same, then I'm supposed to be a criminal, a crook, a paid agent, all kinds of nonsense. And that's how. That's why the temperature in the opposition is rising, because the United Party has decided to win this nomination by propaganda.
Yeah, but okay, so I have always also two things I've done. I've said, look, an ideal ticket would be these two people on the ticket. Then I've also said you need to go to primary. It's a competition. One person will win at the end of the day because you can only have one standard bearer from a unit, whether it's a political party or a collaboration. So on the VP situation, initially I said it on the show that I think, and I want to say it again, I do not
VPS.
Sentimental reason, Uncle Joe is the favorite to win. You know, and I'll say I'll keep saying that. Cummings is growing, however, is not enough. He hasn't gotten the critical mass to win against a George Weah in this country as we are today. Okay. Having said that, I've also said that the two of them could run together and it will be an ideal party, ideal ticket, right? Which means, therefore, see here, we have somebody who has sentiments around them and it has base and all of that. Then we have this other person who might be able to do actual work. However, I now took a look at those who might be around Uncle Joe in his camp. And I try to see, okay, so you see into governance, what is going to be the role of these people in his camp, in his government, right? And then what would the VP be doing then? Because if nothing else can show us what's happening with the current government and their VP should tell us that unless you have an agreement, you know, for the two of them to be in sync without distractors within, you know, within that circle, you're not going to have a good leadership. Okay, because it's one thing to win an election, it's another thing to run a country, and which is where the ticket now falls apart, unless something is done to correct these things I've spoken about. The other part of the primary is it's a competition. People will win a competition how they can. If the rules says you can't do this, when they break those rules, then you can call them to order. But if you're against Unity Party's propaganda, you have no right to be against it. You can talk about it, but you can't be against it because they're not against the rules of the game. It's part of the game. You choose your strategy, they choose their strategy. You can get pissed off and tear your hair out however you want to, but you can't accuse them of using their strategy. Use yours. The only thing you can do is fight, you know, say, oh, well, you two are doing this, everybody will cuss each other out. I get that. However, you cannot you decide, you you want to use money, and they say, "Oh, you're using money." Well, you're using. I think if that's what you're gonna do, own up to it. Like, look, this is your strategy. This is our strategy. End of story. This competition, we want to win. You two want to win. So let's fight and see who wins. That's, I think, where we should be. The fact that we're getting to a point where we're almost getting to the point where we're marcussing and things like that. It's a competition. I expect that people are gonna talk and people are gonna say all kinds of things, but I worry, especially people from Uncle Joe's camp, because they're more social media savvy and have lots of connection. My worry is, this is like a toothpaste situation. Once you squeeze it, you can't put it back. So there's just certain things when you say it, it's harder for you to go back to the same person to want support from that person. Okay, so for instance, all these things you all have said about are you saying, should Uncle Joe win the nomination, you're not gonna need his support? If that's what you're saying, then fine. However, but when you finish saying all of these things here, you can't go back and want his support. I don't think you would give the support if it was you. Okay, let's not do it that way. How say things where it's very hard for you to take it back. It's very hard for somebody to get past those things that you said. It's very hard for somebody to, like go, oh, yeah, that was said. And then Uncle Joe, I beg you, yeah. So I heard, you guys, I told you I've been the Chisekule, yeah. I heard that those who are angling around you for VP position because they think they can, so they're gonna angle around you for VP position. They're all hoping you will die. I'm sorry, but that it gotta be said. I'm sorry. I thought I'm in the Chisekule mode today. They're hoping you die, so they'll take over. Are those the people you want around you? Like seriously, Uncle Joe? I love you, but
Mary, calm down. What I'm saying is, it is Bwaka has been using his ailing health as a tool of political strategy. He is well aware that his suitors, those who are coming close to him, see him as being weak.
Right.
So he will continue to act
play
weak,
up
his weakness.
Right.
Because this is in a strange twist of logic. In this game, being weak is strong and being strong is weak.
Right.
So that in the way we competed with WIA in 2017, people wanted to demonstrate their intellectual ability. But that drove Ellen Johnson Sirleaf away from them.
Right.
She wanted someone who was less critical of her and who she could have more
manage,
influence
more control,
over
right?
Because of her own abilities and sophistication.
Right.
So we were the wrong candidate for the job because you were the right candidate.
Right.
It's strange.
Right.
So Joseph Numa Bwaka is the most attractive to the political interest holders. So the Dillon, the Nyombli, the what's his name, the Ure, and so on and so forth. They love Old Man Joe because he's Old Man Joe.
Right.
They see his weaknesses, and that's what attracts them to him.
Right.
Even the guys who are on social media, who are going to be the ministers of tomorrow, they love Uncle Joe. The same reason I used to love my grandma being at the shop, because I'll get more of everything. I get my way. When you have when your grandma is at the house, she's less firm. You know,
your mom,
when you go stay with your grandfather, he's less firm. You know, your pa will be more strict with
and your
you.
mom will knock you.
Yes, your mom will really keep you
Set
and
you
hold you to
straight.
account. So they prefer Uncle Joe because he looks more like a grandfatherly figure.
I actually heard.
And they are looking to plunder, or maybe it's unfair to say plunder, but they will have more say at their various ministries working under Uncle Joe, because supervision is very physically tasking. Whether you have to read reports, loads of reports, whoever is going to be the equivalent of Nathaniel McGill in that government, like the Minister of State, is going to run the country.
Right.
I'm sorry if it's Jacob Akoli, he's going to be the president of Liberia.
Right.
By default, because they are going to guard that old man so tightly that nobody will be. Henry Pedro Costa was on Spoon. He said one of the main reasons he likes Joe Bwaka is because he has his ear. You know what that means?
Right.
Having the person by the ear. I don't even know why he said that publicly, but he did. Letting us into the psychology.
It's just to...
letting us into the psychology. Maybe it was to show off, but letting us into the psychology that informs the support. So it's not really for good. it is for advantage. And I'm not faulting anybody because it's a political game.
Right.
Everybody wants to expand and increase their power. But just like you were saying, all the people that are backing him to be vice president are people who think they themselves can be president through his weakness. Someone told me about a Nyomli Kanga 2025 project or 2026 project, where through the machinations that we're seeing in Liberty Party or through her early support to Boakai, she can get sympathy from the Unity Party to influence the old man to select her as the VP pick. But I think all these people are setting themselves up for disappointment.
But
I come in, this story, we've seen it before. Martinege Tingba from Nimba left his entire job of being a representative and was canvassing this country for Joe Boakai, presenting himself as a potential VP. My own countryman, Dr. Topa, who almost gave everything he had every time was in Banga with Omejo. He was let down. Several other people who've played this game before, to people, this is the second time there's been a race for Boakai hand in a marriage. Bromsky hand was left hanging. And so Liberty Party next political leader has also embarked on trying to be Joseph Boakai nominee. It doesn't end well.
No, but what I heard was that it was actually Senator. The game is actually Senator DeLaw wanted to be VP and getting those favorable, indications that he could be. And then Omar Boakai dies. Then Nyomli will now come in. Yeah.
No, I understand. Start again.
I start.
So the first
because if Uncle Joe dies, God forbid.
Are they God?
No, but wait, Charlie, I'm having a conversation based on what I heard.
Yes.
So I'm not saying he's gonna. I said God forbid.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
But the plan is, should he die, right, within the term, there's 6 years, right? So if he dies within the 6 years, well, we're gonna have a new president, right? Who automatically will be the vice president, right? And that vice president will now have a VP.
So let me just tell you where the drama is going to come from. You think this drama is hot? This Musa versus Delon and Nyomli. You think this drama is hot? I am sort of guessing, and this I don't have any evidence, but based on my own analytical ability, I can see a potential clash between Senator Nyomli and Delon faction on one hand, the Henry Costa and Bernard Ure faction on the other hand. Mind you, Joseph Boakai is a viable CPP nominee because Bernard Ure gave him ALP support earlier, making him the only player with two parties. In his pursuit of a third party, and where a third party is not possible to get the third party, to get the main heads of that third party, which he already has now. The perception of support is already in the public that Joe Boakai has Nyomli and Delon. Because of the strength of Musa, it cannot be said that he has Liberty Party.
Right.
But he has Nyomli and Delon. So Boakai already has that in his pocket. So the way he used to answer their calls when they called before, there's no.
I want to open the phone line. I want to open the phone lines. 07777 077 You're listening to the Saturday Show. You're listening to the Saturday. You're listening to the Saturday Show.
We have a saying. They say, "Come spend time." It's not the same as "Can't stay with me."
No, but I think Delon did the wrong thing by endorsing so early. I'm sorry.
If you want me Delon advisor, wait.
Hello?
Yeah, hello. Hello? Yes?
Hello, Mary.
Yes?
Thank you. Let me appreciate you and Manufacturer Dumar. My name is Aman Kosborn today, and I joined the conversation from edition number 15.
Right.
With all of the internal wrangling and some of the positions of Manufacturer Dumar, the question is, do you think that if the collaboration hold, it would not be squarely on the basis of self-interest? Do you think it will be on the basis of liberating quote-unquote 11 people? Because, I mean, with all of those information that have been
coming out and your position on the radio and on other issues clearly speaks to the fact that if you go ahead and force the collaboration to hold, it means that you are doing it only in the interest of yourself, not the country. Having said that, it is important to register the maximum ingratitude from the angle of Senator Dillon. I don't know. Senator Dillon always showing ingratitude to people who are running the system to him. In dealing to the president was constrained to come out and point out those assistants that was run out. In dealing to the current Senate President, the Senate President was also constrained. He is doing it to what's the name? Honorable Betty. Honorable Betty is also constrained. I mean, that type of ingratitude needs to stop on the angle of Senator Dillon.
Okay, let me take a call. Hello. Okay, I'm gonna try to get as much calls as I can. So once you get through 0777 107 0777 221 223 number you can call. I feel that we are missing the whole game. Okay, individuals they run. I understand what Cosmo David is saying. However, individuals have to win. So you can't negate the fact that individuals have to work to win. That's the way politics works. Hello. 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 Hello.
Hello, Mayor.
Yes.
Yeah, this is Peter Gula calling you from 7th Street.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you for the discussion. My brother in the civil manufacturer, I think you're doing more harm than good for the CPP. Attacking CPP leader at this stage will not do any good for the CPP, like I said from the onset. Attacking Delon, attacking Yombli Kanga, Lauren, and other people, you're creating more harm for the CPP. What we should be doing is to sit around the table and discuss.
Let you finish.
Okay.
I want you to finish so I can ask you 2-3 questions.
If you put Kumi against President Weah, it's almost like uphill battle. Under no condition, Kumi can win a job we are in this country. You know that, and I know.
No, I don't know that.
Why are you attacking other people?
I don't know that.
No, but I want to ask a question. So I want to ask a question.
Mama,
are you okay? I want to ask a question. Are you okay with others attacking him?
That's why I said from the onset, there's one time to attack one another.
Yeah, but they already been attacking. What do you have a problem with Senator Dillon attacking Musa Beledi?
I got problem with all of that. I said it from the onset.
Okay, but brother, I've forgotten what you said your name was, but I just want to post.
Peter Goodluck. I'm Peter Goodluck from 7th Street.
Okay, good luck. Maybe I will have good luck in explaining to you. One, I was not the one who started this. Are you aware that Senator Nyomli Kanga Lawrence wrote an official letter to the National Election Commission seeking to single-handedly withdraw the Constitution? Is the National Election Commission part of CPP? No. When that is happening, those of us who have heads on our shoulder in the Liberty Party, what should we do? We should come out and also explain that we as a majority in the party agree with our constitution. Otherwise, one person will have too much power.
I disagree with too.
Yes, but he disagree. Not enough. It has to be challenged. Because you are also listen to me.
I come in now. This is the same disagreement I make the long chief of officer to resign.
Okay.
Yes. So I just want to explain to him. I'm sure he's still listening, right? Ideally, we should all be together on the table. But if I cannot get the ideal, I do not also sit down and start crying. I have to push back against a narrative that's been formed. Look, people say there is no chance that Cummins can beat George Weah. I don't agree with that because election is not just about numbers. It's also about narratives. When the narrative was that CDC was a grassroots party working to try and bring redemption to the poor and so on and so forth, CDC were winning in urban areas.
Hello?
Were winning here.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, I'm Edward Koba calling from the NC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, first of all, I want to disagree with the assertion made that people who come here around Bwaka to be selected as far as mates think that it will take over. So one more comment who come around coming, I did not thinking that he was that.
No.
How the age of John McFoley when he died? Why the age of John McFoley when he died?
Was it
John McAfoley? The Tanzanian president.
Him. Okay.
The former
what I say is that we should not be looking at age in any electoral process.
No, so you're saying two different things. No, you're saying two different things. Okay, those who are looking at age to not vote for Uncle Joe,
you can answer
is different. Is different from those who are actively trying to use his age as a way to advance their own political career. I think I lost them.
Yeah, so I was just saying to people, I remember when we proposed to Dylan that he should run for Monserrato, he said, Dumoy, unless the people give me money, the ordinary masses give me money, I'm not going to run. He ran before and didn't do well because the narrative was different back then. He came 6th or 5th place. He was beaten by even Alaji Kruma.
Hello?
Good morning, Mary.
Yeah, morning.
And good morning to Mr. Dumoy.
Good morning.
Yeah. My name is David Nyari, and I call from Gloria Orlando intersection. On the issue of the LEC, my question is, Mary, what is the way forward? Because I understand that people apply to LEC for meter and pools and connection, but they hardly come to connect people. And the issue of the direct current, I think LEC is giving people direct current. When it's going direct, at the end of the month, you come and pay to the LEC. So I was asking the question, what is the way forward? For me, my thing is, I want for LEC to do a nationwide connection and forget about putting people on direct current to can pay on a monthly basis. Let us speak to the issue of the prepaid service.
Okay.
Thank you this morning.
All right. Thank you. Thanks for your call. I think we'll take 2 more calls before we go 024722. Oh God. Hello. My eyes just turned. Hello.
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much once again. There's Mohammed passed away, and I join you guys.
What you said?
Down community. Yeah, on the issue of the CPP drama, it's just deepening day in, day out. And I want to say this to people from United Party. There are persons that only Joseph Newman Bolian can beat Joe. I think this is quite unfortunate because they are going to a political marriage where people going to everybody going to represent their own party, and there are people vote as delegates to select the person who will be the head of the CPP. Why do they believe that only Joseph Bolian can beat Joe?
Why not? Why not? No.
Because they are promoting their own
exactly.
person.
Why shouldn't they promote? Why shouldn't they promote Uncle Joe? That's their party. That's their party candidate.
No, their promotion is not in the right direction.
No, you can't decide what's in the right direction. No, you can't. Okay, so you don't agree. Yeah, okay. Mohammed passed away. No, but Mama passed away.
Yeah.
You have if Collins is your candidate, you're free to sell him how you want to sell him. Okay. UP can sell their candidate how they wish to sell him. You can't decide for them how they sell him.
Kumi to say that he's like from another force of Joe. It's quite funny. They think Joe beat Joseph Baka 2017 election.
Yes.
Yeah, but it was a different at the time though. Let's not. Hello.
It's different era for Baka, but it's not different era.
Hello.
Yeah, my name is Andrew Kale, and I do this conversation from the Southern Boulevard Resident Income.
Right.
I think you have the issue of CPP. Sometimes I say I can be telling people think I'm lying. How will you compare? How will you put Joe Bwaka against President Biya 2023? It would be like you are putting St. Johnson player along with Messi in Europe. How will
going to do that thing. So
What?
I would. Hello.
Yeah.
Yes. So
I think I lost that caller. First off, let's agree.
Only
It's a
got 2 more
competition.
minutes.
Yeah, it's a competition. Only one person will win. Both parties are allowed to fight. All I've said is that we need to be our utterances has to be such that we don't say things where it's hard for supporters of either person to support whoever
Okay,
becomes.
maybe United Nations will hear you.
No, but it's true though, because we're watching you. We, the public, we're watching this, and if you guys can't get your act together in the CPP, people are just gonna stay with the government.
No, the public
Don't
also
do that.
joining us now.
Yeah, but exactly. Hello, we ain't doing anything, right? But we're fighting with there's a government and then there's opposition. If you're not going to get your act together and you're going to allow these kinds of nonsense, and it's how you handle this that tells whether or not so people can have confidence in you, whether it's Uncle Joe or Cummins, doesn't really matter. Whether we can have confidence in you to get the job done.
I think that's a very fair point to make. But then also having made that, I want to say that nobody should tell me that it's possible for Joe Buckeye to get more than 350,000 new voters in 6 years, but it's impossible for Cummins to get 500,000 voters in 6 years too. You can't, once you agree that times have changed and things have changed, then it has changed for everybody. If you don't think your opponent is strong, then that's even good. United Party should be throwing praise and worship songs up in the air. They should be having Thanksgiving service that Cummins is a weak candidate and they're going to defeat him at the primary. We need to all go to the primary.
Okay.
And it's 12 o'clock. I've been many packet do more.
Alrighty. We're done. Uncle was under control. Hey, you can call yourself Uncle. And I start calling you Uncle too. Uncle was on the Uncle. Thank you so much for joining us. All the callers, those who couldn't get through, I apologize. And we'll be back next weekend. On Saturday at 10 o'clock, the Saturday show comes back. My name is Mary Williams. Have a nice weekend. Bye-bye.
I can't keep myself. Allow me to flex, so yo When you the win and go say now yo.